I've got 4 natural remedies for type 2 diabetes that I want to share with you in this video. And I think the third one will really surprise you. Hey guys, Uriel Keem, a New York Times best-selling author, holistic nutritionist and health expert, and the man to help you live a happier, healthier, fitter, and more prosperous life. And welcome to the Standing Desk. And I've got 3 foods actually here, and then one other recommendation slash activity that is going to help you deal, remedy, overcome type 2 diabetes. And before I share those with you, I want to let you know that if you're someone who has diabetes or is kind of exhibiting signs of type 2 diabetes, I want you to know that it is one of the most optimistic conditions to have. And I use the word optimistic in the best way possible. Compared to cancer or heart disease or dementia, type 2 diabetes is completely reversible through diet and exercise alone. And we've seen this countless times with a lot of our clients and customers, and I'll share a really cool resource with you towards the end of this video, so don't go anywhere. But in the meantime, shall we jump into these cool natural remedies? All right, so I'm gonna share with you, the cool thing about what I'm about to share with you is that combined, these might cost you, I don't know, $10 a month for like really significant improvements in the condition, okay? So first and foremost is what I believe to be the biggest bang for your buck. I don't even want to call it a supplement, addition to your kitchen, is apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar, right? If you have anything, if you have skin issues, if you've got acne, if you've got fungus, if you want to lose weight, if you want more energy, if you have asthma, whatever it is, apple cider vinegar is always the top of the list for natural remedies, and the same goes for diabetes. The reason for that is apple cider vinegar has a really cool compound called acetic acid, and acetic acid has been shown to do a couple things. Most notably for diabetics, it actually reduces the blood sugar response from food intake. So let's say that you made the wise decision to have a donut, all right, on an empty stomach. So let's say you have a donut. That donut is very quickly digested. That sugar is absorbed into your bloodstream. You have a spike in blood sugar, and now you're like, holy goodness. Insulin is secreted, and now you have a problem because your cells aren't responding to insulin, right, which is called insulin resistance, aka type 2 diabetes. And so what apple cider vinegar helps do is it reduces that blood sugar response. So the blood sugar is lower, there's less insulin secreted, and that just mitigates the whole problem in the first place. So apple cider vinegar is absolutely critical for a type 2 diabetic to be using, but also it's gonna help you on so many different levels, from improved digestion to better stabilization of your blood sugar to like anything you're dealing with, apple cider vinegar will help. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's like, I don't wanna say it's the cure-all, but this bottle is, I think it's a gallon or 2 liters. This is probably $10, and this will last you for more than a month if you're just you yourself. So yeah, apple cider vinegar, absolutely key for anyone, especially with blood sugar issues. Number 2 is something you've probably heard of, which is cinnamon. And cinnamon smells great, tastes great, but just like with apple cider vinegar, for diabetics, it's awesome because it actually reduces the blood sugar response of foods. It helps your cells respond better to insulin as well, which is a good thing because if you have insulin coming out into the bloodstream, that insulin is supposed to take sugar out of the blood and move it into your cells and store it. If it doesn't, then you have high blood sugar, and that's a very, very dangerous proposition. That's what leads to diabetic retinopathy, where you go blind. It leads eventually to things like diabetic neuropathy, where you lose your limbs because sugar has eroded not only your arteries, but your nerves, and just, it's crazy, right? It's having high blood sugar is very dangerous, okay? And so things like cinnamon can help improve your body's ability to take the sugar out of the blood and store it properly. Third, we have something called resistant starch. Now this is a company called Bob's Red Mill, and you can get this at a health food store, or a lot of grocery stores now have it as well. Unmodified potato starch, that's what you wanna look for, not potato flour, unmodified or raw potato starch. It's about $5 for this whole bag. This whole bag will last you more than a month. How you take this is 2 to 3 tablespoons per day in water or a smoothie. It tastes like nothing. It'll just make your water look more cloudy. And it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. So what this does is it's a type of starch that your body does not digest. That's why it's called resistant starch. It actually serves as a fuel for the bacteria, the good bacteria in your gut. And as a byproduct of them eating this, they give off something called butyric acid. And butyric acid helps to improve the quality of your gut lining, which is very important, but also has been shown to decrease blood sugar, decrease insulin response, and increase insulin sensitivity, which means that your cells are starting to respond to insulin. So you don't need more insulin, you need your cells to actually respond to whatever insulin you have. And that's what this can help you achieve. It's phenomenal. So for $5, this should be a no-brainer. If you can't get your hands on this, another way of incorporating resistant starch into your diet is by eating unripened bananas, so the green kinds, okay, not the yellow with the brown spots, that's excessively ripened. So more on the green side, cooked then cooled potatoes. So typically people with diabetes shouldn't be eating cooked potatoes because it will spike your blood sugar, but cooked then cooled potatoes, cooked then cooled white rice have the same thing, resistant starch, because the cooling process really amplifies the resistant starch and brings it to life so that now that food, which was typically not recommended for diabetics, can actually be one of the healing remedies for type 2 diabetes. It's awesome. So you can have things like rice pudding or potato salad and feel okay about it. So those are 3 really powerful natural remedies. And the 4th one is short bouts of intense exercise. Now, if you're watching this, you're like, oh, Yuri, I can't do intense exercise. That doesn't make me feel good. Well, I'm not talking about like doing a Tough Mudder or competing in the Olympics. What I'm suggesting, and based on what the research has shown, is that you can do small bouts of intense exercise, like on a bike, or you can go for a run, or you can do any kind of bodyweight exercise, like push-ups, bodyweight squats, anything that's gonna get your heart rate like really pounding, huffing and puffing, for about 20 seconds. So here's what you could do. Let's say you're on a bike, okay, a cycle ergometer or just a recumbent bike, or let's say you're on your own cycle outside. You go 20 seconds really hard, go, nice and fast. It'd be like going up a hill. You're really like getting huffing and puffing, heart rate is up, and then you recover for a minute. Go really hard for 20 seconds, recover for a minute. 20 seconds really hard, recover for a minute. Do that for 10 minutes, you're done. So what the research shows, and it's not just the research, this is how physiology works. When you stress your muscles, when you work your muscles, those muscles become very receptive to nutrients when you're finished. And so that's why intense exercise has the exact same effect as insulin does. So what this means is that instead of having to require insulin for your cells to uptake sugar out of the blood, because that's what insulin does. I wish I had some demonstration here, but insulin is like the bouncer, or it's like the insulin is like the cool kid who has all the connections to get you into the restaurant or the club or wherever else you want to go. So, it sees a bunch of people hanging around. Cool guy comes around and says, hey, you want to get in there? Come with me. That's what insulin does inside your cells, right? It circulates in the blood, takes the sugar out, moves into the cells. But too much insulin is a very big problem, because if you have too much insulin over time, that is how your cells become desensitized to it. It's like, somebody cold calling your house every night at 6 o'clock. Eventually you stop answering the phone, right? It's the same thing. Insulin is always knocking on the door of your cells. Hey, let the sugar in, let the sugar in. Your cells are like, dude, stop knocking on the door. I'm not answering anymore. That's what happens. So intense exercise, what it does is it bypasses insulin. It has a transporter. It takes a transporter called GLUT4 inside your cells to the cell membrane, so kind of the entry point into your cells, and it opens the door, allowing sugar to come in. And you don't need to be doing this for hours. Like, I'm talking like a couple of minutes of intense exercise, but the key is that it has to be intense. Walking doesn't count. Walking is like breathing. You should do it all the time anyways. I'm talking about huffing and puffing, high intensity exercise for for 5 to 10 minutes. That is it. I hope that's not too much to ask because you deserve it, your health deserves it, and you can do it. And like again, if you're 70 years old or 20 years old or anywhere in between, do what works for you. So a 20-year-old's high intensity activity will be very different from a 75-year-old's intense activity, okay? So you wanna do what's gonna get you huffing and puffing, and that might be a slow jog, I don't know. But that's the key. So those are the 4 natural remedies that can make a big difference to help you overcome type 2 diabetes. In addition to eating a clean whole foods diet, it will get you on the way. I'm telling you, I've seen this time and time again. We've helped thousands of people with these types of protocols, and I have no doubt that these can work for you as well. Now, if you want to take things to the next level and really get a good handle on your diabetes, we have a great free guide called the Diabetes Debacle, and I'd strongly recommend you download it today. There's a link on the video or in the description below. And what that will show you is it's going to show you the state of affairs, the reality of the industry, like all these different medications that doctors are prescribing, the dangers of them, and what you can do instead that is a lot safer to remedying type 2 diabetes, which I said earlier is completely reversible. So grab it today, please. You deserve this, and I want to see you, even though I've never met you, I want to see you in better health on your own terms, not relying on medications until the end of your days, okay? So if you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to know about this, and subscribe to the channel. There should be a button or icon somewhere on this video. And until next time, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for taking the time to join me today, and I'll see you in our next video.